Good morning, everybody, and I'd like to thank the organizing committee for allowing me to share our experience and work. I think I'm actually really happy in terms of the speakers before me because they've sort of set the scene in what it's like in the UK, but I'm going to give you a personal clinical experience. One of my authors, Dr. Judy Russell, this is for her. She has supported women living with HIV in our antenatal clinic from the time she's been a consultant there. She retired, and I've been fortunate enough to continue her work. So I think we've seen some of the guidelines. In 2005 to 2012, the BEVA guidance actually were just advocating for exclusive breastfeeding. And actually, if you did choose to breastfeed, you could potentially have child protection sanctions. But as we know, and Laura has said, in 2012, the language changed. And we were like, if a woman is on good, effective antiretroviral therapy and she chooses to breastfeed, this doesn't constitute grounds for automatic referral to child protection teams. And actually, she can be supported to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. And as soon as breastfeeding has ceased, she should have a viral load a week after. And then I think what's really interesting is, and this is the reason my colleague, Dr. Russell, had supported women to breastfeed for longer, is when the WHO guidance came out. And it said that women living with HIV should breastfeed for 12 months and for 24 months if they wanted to. And it doesn't matter whether in a low or high income country. And as you've seen, the data from the PROMISE trial has been really reassuring in terms of the low rates of transmissions at 6 months, 0.3%, sorry, at 6 months, 0.3%, and at 0.6 at 12 months. So the guidance isn't out yet for BEVA 2025. So for me, I was working on what we have 2018, and it says if a woman is virologically suppressed with a good adherence to ART and she chooses to breastfeed, she should be supported. But yes, we still do tell women that there is a low risk of HIV transmission, and actually exclusive breastfeeding gives you a risk of 0. And we know that the risk of transmission is like at less than 0.3. I think in the 2018 it said 0.275%. But actually we have very limited data in HIV transmission via breast milk in high-income countries. So I thought, okay, I'd like to report on our experience in Southeast London between June 2015 and October 2014, following the publishing of the WHO guidance, because actually one of our patients did challenge us because she wanted to breastfeed for more than 6 months. So this is a retrospective case note review. It's women who attended the HIV antenatal for HIV antenatal care at the Trafalgar Clinic, which is based in Southeast London. And it was live births between the 1st of June 2015 to the 3rd of October 2024. So during that time period, we had 140 live births, of which 43 women, that represents just a third of the infants, were breastfed by 36 women. 6 women breastfed twice, and 1 mum breastfed twins for 1 day. The characteristics of the women, predominantly Black African women. In terms of HIV acquisition, predominantly heterosexual, but I'd like to point out that there were 2 women who were vertically infected, who breastfed. The median CD4 count was good, 579, and all women were undetectable at delivery and during the time they were breastfeeding. So of the 43 babies that were breastfed, 6 only breastfed for less than 7 days. That left us with 37 babies, and 2 are actually still breastfeeding now. So I'll just report on the 35 babies that completed breastfeeding. So the median duration of breastfeeding was 16 weeks, ranging from 1 to 95 weeks. And it was pretty much an even split about boys and girls, 18 and 17. 10 babies were breastfed for 6 or more months by 6 months. As you can see here, the longest duration was 95, that's 22 months. And the lady that actually challenged us, that was baby 3, she breastfed for 16 months. And of the mums who breastfed more than twice, as you can see, mum 6 has breastfed for 20 and 22 months. She's vertically infected. And I'll also point out mum 4 is also vertically infected. So we've had no HIV transmission in any of our babies. All have tested HIV RNA negative a week post-cessation of breastfeeding, and all are HIV antibody negative. 2 are currently breastfeeding. 1 is a baby girl who's 12 months. Her last HIV RNA was less than 200 copies, and her mum's undetectable. Mum's on a triplet. And a baby boy, 7 months, his last HIV RNA was less than 200 copies, and mum's is undetectable, and she's on Eviplera. So in conclusion, 30% of babies in our service have been breastfed, with 10 babies and mums supported to breastfeed for 6 months and more following the 2016 WHO recommendations. Our cohort is predominantly black women, and this is a cultural norm to breastfeed. And actually, if you don't breastfeed, it could bring in stigma in the community. Our data, though, it's a small cohort, but it does provide reassurance that supported breastfeeding, even beyond 6 months, resulted in no HIV transmissions. Thank you very much.